Dingus and Dongus.
Hey, Michael.
Episode 36.
So the comic this time around is The Calling, Cthulhu Chronicles by...
It's not on there.
Okay, well, sorry.
I'll put it in the description.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have... The process that was here was like, oh man, I left the paper downstairs. I have more paper upstairs. But this one isn't completely filled up, so I was like, well, I don't want to waste a piece of paper. And it wouldn't, because I just... That's where my head was. I didn't want to go back upstairs.
That's the kind of operation we run here at Dingus and Dongus Debacle.
Yep.
But, okay.
It's out on Boom Studios.
Yes.
I remember that much.
Yeah. It's essentially kind of like a retelling of The Call of Cthulhu, but modernized with a couple changes.
I had never read it.
Oh, yeah?
So I don't have a frame of reference. There was a distinct lack of Cthulhu-ness in this.
Oh, yeah.
To me.
There's a distinct lack of just any cool, weird, like, monsters.
I was hoping for something, and there was nothing.
Mm-hmm. We
nothing.
get a smoke monster.
A smoke monster, and then a photograph guy.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But still, not what I was kind of hoping for.
Yeah, same here. It was like, I'm pretty sure, like, this is during the time where I was, like, just fanatical about, like, finding new horror comics.
Gotcha.
And this was one that just kind of, came to me, and I was like, okay, this will be cool. I like Cthulhu.
Right.
I like, all that cosmic horror shit. And it ended up being pretty disappointing for me.
It was not bad, a little dull, and it didn't accomplish much in the scheme of storytelling, I felt. What I did really enjoy about this book was how it showed parallels to real life, I would say, on big pharma trying to sell pills, regardless of if the pill's good or needed.
Right.
And in this case, the pill was used to help, like, stop or put inhibitors for, like, serotonin or something in the person taking his brain so that they could use, like, psychic powers from those around them.
Yep.
I thought it was a neat idea. It's like, yes, horrible pharmaceutical salespeople that are selling these pills without realizing that it's used for nefarious purposes. And then people using psychic Cthulhu powers that I don't understand to drain the life from these people taking these pills.
Right. I think
to collapse dimensions to summon Cthulhu, right?
Right. It's pretty fucking out there. I don't really get it, but like
it was fun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think my favorite part was it boils down to this main character who worked for the pharmaceutical company,
right,
distributing this drug, and at the beginning of the story, he's like, "This is my calling. I'm helping people. This is my purpose in life." He finds out that he's in fact killing thousands of people and might be dooming humanity. To like horrendous shit. So he fights back against the pharmaceutical company, prevents Cthulhu from being summoned, and then he decides his calling is now to prevent this cult from doing it again. And then the dude who informs him dies.
Yes.
It's like he all he wants was a purpose in life, and it just keeps getting taken away from him. And that's pretty Lovecraftian. It's your life is meaningless, and any attempt in finding meaning in life will be pointless.
Yes. I did think that was funny, because the dreamer is this character, right?
Yeah.
That shows up in the photos, is bedridden, comatose.
Right.
And the last page or couple pages, towards the end, he shows up, and they snap the picture, and he starts talking to him, and says, beep, 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 beep. I'm like, what the? Why is there beep, beep, beep? And I
Right.
flip the page. It's like, oh, he's flatlining. That's a great ending.
Yeah. Especially because, like, right before the dude's like, this is my calling.
Right. I'm going to handle some shit. Beep, beep, beep. Just, my brain was trying to figure out, like, what is the beep? Like, I couldn't figure it out.
I thought it was, like, somebody, like, paging him or, like, calling him or something.
Yeah, I didn't read it like the dreamer was saying this.
Right.
But why was the dreamer saying it? Because it's a machine that makes it. Like, it's not like
the dreamer hears the beeping, like, in his unconscious mind, and he's like, oh, beep, beep, beep.
Exactly.
Just, like, couldn't help but, like, hum along with the beeping. He's like, oh, that's really catchy. Beep, beep, beep.
And then he dies. So that was just like, I don't know why he's saying beep. I hope that when I do die, I'm able to do it where I'm conscious enough to hear the beeps, so I can say beep beep and then just die. I don't know how it's gonna work.
You gotta do one long beep and then
My final breath is gonna be beep.
Or maybe they just, like, attach a whistle. So every time he exhales, like, a little beep or a whistle, and then the final exhale is just, like, one long one.
I'm going to pay the upcharge for the kazoo. That's what I'm going to do. My goal in life is to make enough money that when I'm on my deathbed in a hospital, I can afford a kazoo.
To have the doctor tape a kazoo to your lips.
Yep. The death kazoo.
Yes. It's like those death whistles in South America, right?
Yeah. All those things, they're terrifying.
They are. I don't know how they get it to sound like people are screaming.
Blood rituals, that's how.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's just, like, infused into the, whatever they make it out of.
Yes.
Sweet. That went a little off the rails.
Well, we're making our own Lovecraftian story.
Exactly. Yeah. It's Lovecraftian because people are listening to this and realizing how pointless it all is.
Yes. And there's a picture of Cthulhu in the comic book.
Oh, yeah?
Like the lady has it framed.
Yeah.
So.
You notice the naked lady with the tentacles, too?
Yeah.
It's just like, it pops up everywhere, and I don't know why.
It's cool looking.
It looks cool.
I have no frame of reference for it either.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think it would make a cool tattoo for somebody who's into having that type of stuff on their body.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Even stylize it for more of a pinup look instead of how it was done.
Right.
Might be cool.
I guess I got one more thing about the story. It's especially toward the beginning, they jumped around a lot to, like, different characters, and I had no fucking idea, like, okay, who is this, and how is this new person related to what was happening, like, a page before?
Yes.
It was very disorienting.
It took me a minute to recognize the two white guys.
Yeah.
And which one was involved with the cruise ship where everyone died on the cruise ship.
Right.
So that took me a minute.
Well, for me, it was like some of the ladies, they just... A lot of the characters just kind of look the same.
All blend, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no real character development to give a shit about any of these people.
It literally is, this happened, this happened, this happened.
Yes. It's like, oh, this little kid was quote-unquote abducted. Turns out he wasn't necessarily abducted. Mm-hmm. I don't think we get answers to that.
Yeah.
And then, okay, like, we're not going to expand on that?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Got it.
The concept is cool. Execution just kind of fell flat.
Yeah, and it doesn't have a cute as fuck baby Cthulhu.
Right? It's like mandatory now.
It's like we read one book that had it.
Right?
All of them have to have a baby Cthulhu now.
Exactly. Every single one, even Lovecraft has to go back or come back from the dead to add baby Cthulhu into every single one of his stories.
Yes. Cute baby Cthulhu.
Mm-hmm. And then he has to draw it too. Because it needs to be a visual,
yes.
thing we can see.
The album was Perseverance by Lividity, out in 2018.
Now, is it Perseverance? Because I'm pretty sure it's Perverseverance or Perverseverance. Because PER.
I need to look.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I looked at that name. And it's like...
Perverserance or something like that?
It's perverse and severance and then mushed together. That's what it was. But it took me a while because in my head, I keep thinking Perseverance.
I did not look close enough because I did not care enough.
But then I went down the rabbit hole. It's like, okay, so this is like two words mushed together. How do you actually pronounce it? And the easy way would be Perverseverance. But then it also kind of looks like Perverseverance.
Okay.
And it's like,
I'm going to have to double check that.
Yeah.
Because my brain just said Perseverance.
Right.
Like every time.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's what it says. I don't need to look closer. It's fine.
It's like one of those online things where it's jumbled letters.
Yes.
You can still read it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I will type it correctly when it goes on to the internet.
And then the internet will correct you.
Yep.
Did you mean Perseverance?
I did not. Stop it. I don't have the perseverance to put this on there. I was expecting it to be a lot more slammy than it was.
Yeah.
I was surprised that there was actual song structures and riffs instead of just slam shit and breakdowns.
Right. I was I knew nothing about the band or the album going into it, and that was some sample to start the album with.
Yeah, I researched it a little bit.
Yeah,
because it's like, man, we're at this time it's 2018, it's well into the current modern times. Are we still using rape as a shock value? I understood it late 90s, early 2000s as how to push boundaries within death metal.
Right.
How to add shock or grotesque. I get it. I understand that. I don't really care anymore. It's
nope.
I never cared then either, but I understood it. Now it's surely there's something else you can figure out.
Right.
But that sample was some frat house.
Yeah.
I forget where. And they were chanting as they're making the younger people chant that bull crap.
Yeah, the pledges, I guess.
Yeah, as the initiation thing or whatever. Someone recorded it. I was like, oh, well, that's dumb.
Yeah, you guys suck.
Yeah, big time.
But I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of it. I mean, it could be an attempt at juvenile humor.
It's that, and I also part of me was, well, maybe they're doing it to raise some level of awareness,
right?
And then in the songs they make fun of it or something,
right.
Maybe. No.
Oh, you actually checked out the lyrics?
I didn't, but I did find out that one of the dudes in this band apparently is a cop.
Oh.
So in my head, I just assumed, because all cops are egotistical assholes, he probably is on board with this type of behavior.
Yeah.
And he's probably done some stupid shit along the lines. There's no doubt in my mind this dude has done something. I don't know him, but he's a cop and he writes or plays in this type of band. Fuck him. He's done something.
Yeah. But, I mean, aside... Well, okay. One more word about the samples. That's, listening to this album is the most amount of samples I think I've listened to in any sort of setting for years.
Yeah.
I don't think I've listened to an album with as many samples as this for I don't know how long.
Yeah.
But mostly because bands that do this kind of stuff, using samples and whatnot, is not my thing.
Yeah, fair. Mortician.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's look, give me the riffs. I could just go watch that movie if I want to hear people saying that shit. I don't need that in my music.
Yeah.
For me, it adds nothing to the music.
Most of the time, it doesn't. I did appreciate the sample they used of the old lady that used to have a TV show talking about anal sex.
Yeah, Sue
Something, yeah. It didn't add anything to the music, but it was funny listening to her say, poo-poo.
It's nostalgic value for us. I guess like 30s, 40s, staying up late at night, trying to watch some blurred out titties, and then this comes on.
It's probably where the inspiration of this band came from, was that. Trying to watch blurred out titties, and that came on. Back in the recesses of these people's head.
Right. Blurred out titties. With full knowledge that they don't have to look at blurred out titties anymore.
Right.
They can look at actual titties.
But it's the whole artist process for them.
Oh, yeah. It's the pain that they go through to get the art out. God damn this dial-up!
It freezes at like the shoulders.
Right.
While it's loading the image.
And then you get the little X icon.
Yes.
But, okay. All that aside, some pretty cool riffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Some pretty cool riffs. Fast, brutal death metal.
Mm-hmm.
I was honestly pleasantly surprised at what it was versus my expectations of it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's like, with that first sample, it's like, okay, so really slammy, maybe like porno grind or something.
Right, yeah.
But no, they had quality riffs with song structures.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about when I say the Jun riffs? It's not the chugs.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I was thinking about Jun riffs because, of this album, when they had a couple Jun riffs. Mm-hmm. And I started thinking, like, that sounds like a character in Star Wars.
A Jun?
Yeah, the Jun. The Jun-Juns.
Well, I mean, you have the Gungans.
Oh, maybe that's why.
So, they're just like
cousins?
They're what is that word called? When they're related, but they're not the same species.
Same family?
Yeah, sure. The Jun-Juns and Gungans.
Genus?
Yes.
Yeah. The Gungans are they live underwater, and the Jun-Juns are they live in the desert.
Yes.
Jun-Juns. Yeah.
I don't like. I think that Jun-Juns can exist in songs and be fine.
Yeah.
But I don't ever understand why someone would choose to put that there.
Yeah.
Like, you can do it in some songs and it can be fine, but surely you have other tools available. You don't need to go with this. Why did you do it?
Yeah. A lot of times it does feel like the Jun-Juns feel like a little placeholder.
Yeah. Or it's like, this is the headbang part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely better riff styles.
Yes.
Than the Jun-Juns.
So, luckily, this album wasn't full of Jun-Juns.
Yeah.
And not even every song had it either.
No.
Like, just a couple.
Yeah.
So.
I think one or two towards the middle or end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Blistering riffs.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it.
So, yeah. It's solid death metal. Samples
could go.
Yeah, could go. But maybe if you like samples in your music, good for you. I guess. I don't know.
Dingus and Dongus.
Debacle.
It's blowing moist air out.